The Galactic Council, a governing body composed of the most powerful and technologically advanced civilizations in the galaxy, had always viewed themselves as the ultimate authority. Their decisions shaped the fate of entire star systems, and their fleets of warships were unmatched in strength and scale. Among the numerous species they governed, humans were considered insignificant, seen as minor players with limited capabilities. Humanity, focused on diplomacy, trade, and peaceful development, was never perceived as a threat. For centuries, humans had been under the Council's watchful eye. Earth's advancements in technology were acknowledged, but nothing alarming had surfaced. The Council's perception of humanity was based on reports of economic growth, environmental projects, and occasional space exploration. Compared to galactic empires boasting fleets capable of planetary destruction and civilizations founded on war, Earth appeared almost primitive. Humanity's lack of aggression lulled the Council into a sense of superiority, viewing Earth as just another species within their vast dominion. Confident in their dominance, the Council concentrated on internal politics and managing perceived significant threats. They dealt with border skirmishes between rival species, technological developments that could destabilize the balance of power, and ensured their fleets remained the most advanced in the galaxy. Humans were scarcely an afterthought to the Council. It was inconceivable that Earth, with its small, isolated presence, could ever present a challenge. That perception changed the moment the exploratory fleet made an unexpected discovery. The mission of the exploratory fleet was routine. The Council had received whispers of technological advancements in a remote galaxy region. Most assumed these rumors were overblown accounts from independent traders or exaggerated reports from small colonies seeking attention. Nevertheless, the Council, diligent in maintaining control, decided to send a fleet to investigate. The mission was expected to be quick and uneventful, merely another checkup on the outer edges of Council-controlled space. The fleet's ships moved smoothly through the vast, empty region. Their crews were experienced, having handled countless similar missions. They expected nothing unusual. However, as they neared the designated area, their sensors picked up something strange. Initially, the object appeared as an unregistered blip, a large ship moving through an uncharted region. The fleet commander ordered a closer scan, expecting a minor trading vessel, or perhaps a derelict ship adrift in space. But as they closed the distance, what they saw shocked them. Floating silently in the void was a massive warship, far larger than any vessel they had expected to encounter. Its design was sleek and elegant, with smooth lines and a metallic hull that seemed to absorb light. What immediately caught the fleet's attention was the energy signature emanating from the ship. The power levels were off the charts, far exceeding anything the Council had ever seen. Shields, weapon systems, propulsion technology, everything about the ship screamed advanced technology. Yet there was something familiar about it. It bore human insignia. The Council fleet was stunned. No one had anticipated this. Humanity, which the Council had written off as technologically inferior, had somehow constructed a ship that outclassed even their most advanced vessels. The fleet commander, still in disbelief, ordered an immediate halt. They needed to proceed with caution. Protocol dictated an attempt at contact, so diplomatic signals were sent out to the mysterious human ship. No response. The fleet scanned the ship's systems, trying to comprehend what they were dealing with. As the data returned, the crew realized they faced something unprecedented. The human warship was equipped with advanced shields that seemed impenetrable to conventional weaponry. Its weapon systems, though not yet activated, were powerful enough to obliterate entire fleets. Most troubling was the ship's AI. Unlike the Council's semi-autonomous systems, the human vessel's AI appeared fully integrated, controlling every aspect of the ship with a level of efficiency unheard of. The fleet's sensors struggled to understand the ship's structure, detecting energy fluctuations and components far beyond their comprehension. The fleet commander quickly relayed this information to the Council's central command, marking the encounter as critical. Before they could gather more data, the human warship did something even more unnerving. It vanished. The ship didn't jump to hyperspace or cloak itself in any manner the Council had encountered before. It simply disappeared from their sensors, as if it had never been there at all. One moment, the massive warship dominated the void. The next, it was gone. The fleet, shaken by the event, conducted a thorough search of the area, but the ship was nowhere to be found. It was as if it had been a ghost, leaving no trace behind. At the heart of the Galactic Council, the discovery sent shockwaves through leadership. The Council, once proud of its technological and military supremacy, now faced undeniable evidence that humanity had developed something far beyond their understanding. The ruling species, once so confident in their control over the galaxy, were suddenly gripped by fear and uncertainty. How had humanity, A species they had so easily dismissed advanced so rapidly in secret. And why had they concealed these developments? The implications of the discovery were staggering. If Earth had built a warship of this magnitude, what else had they been hiding? More importantly, what were their intentions? An emergency session of the Council was called, bringing together representatives from all major species to discuss the alarming report. The sense of superiority the Council had always held over humanity began to crumble as the details of the human warship were laid out. The leaders could no longer deny the possibility that they had grossly underestimated Earth. The discovery was not just shocking, it was terrifying. The Council, long believing themselves the protectors of peace and order, now faced the grim reality that there might be a force in the galaxy more advanced than themselves, a force that had remained hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to reveal its strength. The discovery of the human warship left the Council with more questions than answers. They had always assumed humanity was weak, technologically backward, and insignificant. Now they confronted the terrifying truth that humans were far more advanced and potentially more dangerous than they had ever imagined. Panic set in, and the Council knew they had to act quickly. But as they deliberated their next steps, one thing was clear: the balance of power in the galaxy had shifted, and humanity was no longer a species to be ignored. The discovery of the human warship sent shockwaves through the Galactic Council. As they convened in an emergency session, the mood was tense. The Council, composed of the galaxy's most powerful species, had long prided itself on maintaining order through superior technology and military might. Now, for the first time in centuries, they were faced with something they did not understand: a ship bearing human insignia, more advanced than anything they had encountered. The Council's scientists and military strategists were baffled. How could humanity, a species dismissed as backward and peaceful, have developed technology that rivaled or surpassed their own? The warship's shields, weapons, and energy signatures were light years ahead of anything the Council possessed. The most unsettling aspect was how the ship had vanished without a trace, leaving no explanation for its capabilities or origin. The Council's intelligence agencies were immediately put to work, tasked with uncovering the secrets behind humanity's rapid technological advancements. They scoured Earth's recent history, analyzing military spending and technological progress. Yet, what they found only deepened the mystery. Public records showed no significant military strides, only steady growth in civilian sectors and peaceful pursuits. There were no signs humanity had been preparing for war. Frustrated and confused, the Council's analysts dug deeper, hacking into human databases and tracking military movements. But the trail was cold. The more they searched, the clearer it became humanity had gone to great lengths to hide its military developments. The Council's realization of their ignorance sent a wave of unease through their ranks. What they had failed to recognize was that humanity had been preparing for this moment for decades. While focusing on diplomacy, economic growth, and peaceful relations, Earth's leaders had observed growing instability across the galaxy. Conflicts between alien species were escalating, and the Council's grip on galactic peace was weakening. Aware of the Council's disdain for Earth, human leaders had quietly begun preparing for the worst. They knew that one day they might have to defend themselves against a galaxy that viewed them as weak. Using their expertise in AI, quantum physics, and energy manipulation, Earth's military scientists developed technologies that would give humanity an edge in any potential war. But rather than flaunt their advancements, they stayed in the shadows. Human warships were designed with cloaking capabilities, making them invisible to Council sensors. Advanced AI systems ran every aspect of their military, allowing humans to outmaneuver enemies without revealing their true strength. Humanity's approach was methodical and calculated. They didn't boast about their power. Instead, they built defenses to make themselves unassailable and weapons capable of destroying entire fleets. The Council never noticed these developments because Earth had given them no reason to. Human leaders knew the best way to win a war was to avoid it, and they intended to keep their technological advancements hidden until absolutely necessary. One of humanity's greatest breakthroughs in warfare was the rise of AI. Unlike the Council's outdated systems, Earth's AI was fully integrated into their military. These systems could control entire fleets, coordinate defense mechanisms, and engage in tactical planning with minimal human intervention. This allowed rapid deployment and flawless execution of operations. The Council's realization that human AI far surpassed their own deepened their growing fear. The implications were staggering. If humanity had developed AI capable of running entire fleets, what else were they hiding? For centuries, the Council believed their control over the galaxy was secure. No species could match their technological prowess. But now, they faced the possibility that humanity had not only matched them but surpassed them. As the Council pieced together fragments of humanity's secret advancements, paranoia spread. Some members feared humans had been planning an uprising, waiting for the right moment to challenge the Council's dominance. Others believed humanity had evolved beyond needing the Council's protection, posing a threat simply because of their newfound autonomy. Debates erupted within the Council. Some advocated for diplomatic action, hoping to negotiate with the humans before tensions escalated. These voices argued for a peaceful resolution, fearing that provoking humanity could have disastrous consequences. However, other members called for force, insisting that humans had shown themselves as a threat by hiding their advancements. They pushed for preemptive strikes, believing Earth needed to be neutralized before it unleashed its full power. The growing paranoia fractured the Council. Once strong and united, they now fought over how to handle the human threat. But despite their fears, the Council knew one thing for certain: humanity had outpaced them in ways they could barely comprehend. While the Council had grown complacent, humanity had been preparing for this moment all along. With their secret military power revealed, humanity had the ability to reshape the galaxy. The Council was left with a choice: negotiate for peace or prepare for a war they might not win. Despite their fear, the Council understood that war with Earth could have devastating consequences for both sides. After lengthy deliberations, they decided diplomacy was the best course of action. A direct military confrontation was too risky, given the unknown extent of humanity's power. The Council resolved to approach Earth diplomatically, hoping to reassert control over humans and secure the galaxy's future. A delegation of emissaries, carefully chosen from the Council's most respected species, was sent to Earth. Their mission opened negotiations with humanity's leaders, ostensibly to strengthen diplomatic ties and ensure peace. Beneath the surface, the Council's goal was clear. They needed to understand how humanity had advanced so quickly and ensure they wouldn't challenge the Council's authority. The emissaries arrived with an air of superiority, assuming Earth, like other species, would bow to the Council's will. They offered cooperation but sought to reassert dominance. Humanity, however, was not easily intimidated. Having anticipated this moment, human leaders welcomed the emissaries cordially but stood firm. Their military advancements were not a threat, they explained, but a necessary measure for Earth's security. The growing instability in the galaxy had forced them to prepare for potential threats. What unsettled the emissaries most was the calm, calculated manner in which humans spoke. There was no fear or deference. Humanity, while diplomatic, did not back down. They emphasized their preference for peace, but made it clear they were prepared to defend themselves. The message was subtle but unmistakable: humanity would not be bullied or controlled. The emissaries attempted to push for an agreement that would limit humanity's military expansion and place their technology under Council oversight. The humans rejected these terms, stating they would not allow any external power to dictate their development. They were willing to cooperate, but only on equal terms. This response left the emissaries shaken. Humanity was no longer the subordinate species the Council had believed them to be. They were now a formidable power that the Council would have to deal with as equals or risk further escalation. As diplomatic talks dragged on without resolution, tensions between the Council and humanity grew. Some Council factions believed humanity was bluffing, while others feared provoking them could lead to disastrous consequences. Pressured by internal factions, the Council decided to send a small fleet to test humanity's defenses. The fleet arrived at the outskirts of human space, hoping to provoke a small skirmish that would reveal humanity's true capabilities. But what followed was a disaster. Human warships, equipped with the same advanced technologies that had baffled the Council's scientists, engaged the fleet with precision. The Council's ships, though advanced by galactic standards, were no match. In minutes, the entire fleet was decimated. The Council's humiliating defeat sent shockwaves through their ranks. Rumors of humanity's technological superiority spread across the galaxy. Member species began questioning the Council's ability to protect them, and some even considered aligning with Earth. The balance of power had shifted, and the Council's control was slipping. As fear spread, the Council faced a difficult choice: seek genuine peace with humanity or risk a war they were unlikely to win. Humanity had emerged from the shadows, and the Council could no longer ignore them. The discovery of Earth's military power had changed the course of galactic history, and the Council would have to adapt or face the consequences. The discovery of humanity's true potential had thrown the Galactic Council into disarray. What began as quiet whispers about Earth's advancements had become a full-blown crisis. The Council scrambled to find a way to contain what they now saw as an existential threat. Diplomacy, intimidation, and force, none seemed adequate against humanity's overwhelming capabilities. Various factions within the Council proposed desperate measures. Some conservative members suggested forming alliances with other powerful civilizations, hoping a united front could curb humanity's influence. Others pushed for a massive preemptive strike, believing Earth had to be destroyed before it revealed its full strength. However, many feared that even the Council's combined forces wouldn't be enough to defeat humanity. The Council, once confident in its dominance, found itself paralyzed by indecision. For centuries, they had ruled the galaxy, secure in the belief that no species could challenge their authority. Now the thought of being outmatched by humanity shook the foundations of their leadership. In the midst of their debates, the Council received an unexpected transmission from Earth. Humanity's leaders addressed the entire Galactic Council, calmly revealing the full scope of their technological advancements. They described fleets of warships equipped with AI-driven systems, weapons capable of mass destruction, and more. But their message was not one of conquest, it was a warning. Humanity had no desire to dominate the galaxy, they explained, but they would not hesitate to defend themselves if attacked. Earth had no intention of allowing any power to undermine their sovereignty. The message, delivered with calm confidence, left no room for misinterpretation. Humanity had the power to reshape the galaxy, but they preferred peace over war. The Council, already shaken by the discovery of humanity's military power, was left in stunned silence. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted, and the Council could no longer claim to be its supreme authority. As the Council struggled to come to terms with this new reality, cracks began to form in their leadership. Some species, recognizing the futility of resisting humanity, began reaching out to Earth, seeking alliances. Others, fearful of drawing humanity's attention, retreated into isolation. The once mighty Galactic Council, which had ruled for millennia, was now fracturing. Humanity, while not directly responsible for the Council's collapse, had undeniably shifted the balance of power. But rather than pursue conquest, Earth chose a different path. Instead of exploiting their newfound dominance, they focused on rebuilding stability. Earth's leaders offered support to species in need, helping to safeguard against future threats. They positioned humanity not as conquerors but as protectors, using their power to defend the galaxy. They extended a hand of cooperation, offering technology and security in exchange for mutual respect. The galaxy, once terrified of humanity's potential, began to see them as a stabilizing force. Humanity's decision to prioritize peace over conquest surprised many, but it cemented their place as the galaxy's new leaders. The Galactic Council, once the unquestioned rulers, had fallen, while humanity stood as protectors, guiding the galaxy into a new era of cooperation and stability. The Galactic Council's fall had ushered in a new chapter for the galaxy. Humanity, once dismissed as insignificant, had become the stabilizing force needed in a time of growing uncertainty. Their decision to prioritize peace over conquest not only surprised the galaxy but also earned them the respect of countless species. Earth's advanced technology and military prowess were not used to dominate but instead to build alliances and offer protection. Under this new leadership, the galaxy began to adapt. Former Council member species, previously bound by fear and control, now found themselves in a more cooperative and mutually respectful system. Humanity offered technological aid, economic partnerships, and security guarantees, helping to rebuild war-torn regions and ensuring that no one species dominated the others. The rise of Earth had not led to chaos, but rather to a sense of hope for a more balanced and peaceful future. However, while the galaxy began to rebuild, there were still whispers of discontent. Not all species were content with humanity's new role. Some factions, remnants of the old council, harbored resentment, viewing Earth's rise as a threat to their autonomy. Secret alliances were formed, and underground movements sought to undermine humanity's influence, fearing that Earth's dominance, though peaceful now, could one day turn into the very kind of control they had rebelled against. Aware of these undercurrents, Earth's leaders remained vigilant. They understood that maintaining peace was an ongoing effort, one that required careful diplomacy, transparency, and the continued development of defensive technologies. Humanity's leadership embraced a philosophy of balance, ensuring that no one species, including themselves, held unchecked power. As the years passed, the galaxy entered an era of unprecedented cooperation and innovation. The collapse of the Council, once seen as a disaster, had ultimately allowed for the rise of a more just and equitable system. Humanity had become a symbol of strength tempered with wisdom, guiding the galaxy not through fear, but through mutual respect and shared progress. Yet, in the shadows, the seeds of rebellion continued to grow. The future of the galaxy remained uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity had forever changed the course of its history. Whether this new chapter would lead to lasting peace or renewed conflict was a question only time would answer. As the galaxy settled into this new era of cooperation under humanity's leadership, a fragile peace took hold. The transition had been smoother than most had anticipated, largely due to Earth's diplomatic efforts and its commitment to treating other species as equals. Trade flourished, scientific advancements spread quickly, and long-standing conflicts were resolved through negotiation rather than war. Humanity had proven that power didn't need to come from domination, but from fostering unity among diverse civilizations. Yet, despite the outward calm, the whispers of rebellion persisted. Discontent simmered beneath the surface, especially in regions that had once enjoyed the privileges of being close to the old council's center of power. Some species saw humanity's rise not as a natural progression but as a usurpation of their rightful place in the galaxy's hierarchy. These factions, though small and scattered, began forming covert alliances, determined to restore what they believed to be the proper order of things. At the heart of these movements were former council loyalists who resented the loss of their influence. They believed humanity's emphasis on peace and cooperation was a mask for a more insidious form of control. To them, Earth's restraint was only temporary, a strategy to lull the galaxy into complacency before revealing its true ambitions. These factions worked in the shadows, recruiting followers, amassing resources, and quietly developing technology that could rival even Earth's advancements. Earth's leaders were well aware of these growing threats. They had learned from the downfall of the Council that complacency was dangerous. Though they still prioritized diplomacy and peaceful engagement, humanity remained prepared for conflict. They quietly bolstered their defenses, enhancing the already formidable capabilities of their fleets and expanding their intelligence networks to monitor the movements of dissident groups. To counter the rising discontent, humanity launched a series of initiatives aimed at reinforcing the bonds of trust between species. Earth opened its technological research to more galactic partners, inviting scientists from across the galaxy to collaborate on projects that benefited all civilizations. Human leaders frequently traveled to distant star systems to personally address concerns, demonstrating their commitment to peace through action, not just words. Despite these efforts, tensions continued to build. Some of the fringe rebel groups began engaging in small acts of sabotage, disabling trade routes, disrupting communications, and launching isolated attacks on human outposts and allied species. Though these incidents were few and far between, they served as a reminder that not everyone was content with the new order. As these acts of rebellion grew bolder, Earth's leaders faced a critical decision. They could respond with overwhelming military force and crush the insurgents, risking the image of humanity as peacekeepers and potentially sparking widespread conflict. Or they could continue to pursue diplomatic channels, working to isolate and defuse the rebel factions before they gained more traction. In a bold move, humanity chose the latter path. Rather than meet violence with violence, they sought to reach out to the leaders of these rebel groups. Secret negotiations were opened, and human diplomats risked their lives to engage in talks with those who had sworn to overthrow Earth's influence. Some of these efforts failed. Certain factions were too entrenched in their hatred to be swayed. But others, surprised by humanity's willingness to listen, began to reconsider their stance. Meanwhile, the galaxy watched closely. Species that had remained neutral during the fall of the Council now found themselves choosing sides. Some were inspired by Earth's continued efforts to maintain peace, while others saw the rebel movements as a potential opportunity to restore the old order. The galaxy teetered on the edge of a new conflict, with humanity at the center, trying to navigate the fine line between maintaining peace and preparing for war. As the years passed, the situation remained precarious. Humanity's reputation as a stabilizing force in the galaxy held strong, but the threat of rebellion loomed ever closer. The choices Earth's leaders made in the coming years would determine whether the galaxy would continue on its path toward unity or fall back into the chaos of division and conflict. The stakes had never been higher, and the fate of countless civilizations rested on the decisions humanity would make in the face of these mounting challenges.